Welcome to our deep dive into one of literature's most haunting and thought-provoking novels, Lord of the Flies by William Golding. This story is more than just a tale of stranded boys surviving on an island. It's a profound exploration of the darkness that resides within every human soul. Today, we'll unravel the layers of Golding's masterpiece, examining its themes, symbols, and the chilling warnings it holds for mankind. Buckle up for an extensive journey into the heart of evil and the struggle to overcome it. Introduction to William Golding and Lord of the Flies. The man behind the message. To truly understand Lord of the Flies, we must first delve into the mind of its author, William Golding. Born in 1911, Golding served in the Royal Navy during World War II, an experience that profoundly influenced his worldview. Witnessing the horrors of war, he became deeply skeptical of humanity's inherent goodness, a skepticism that permeates his writing. Golding's vision for Lord of the Flies was to depict the fragility of civilization and the ease with which humanity can descend into savagery. Published in 1954, the novel quickly became a staple in schools and literary circles, celebrated for its stark portrayal of human nature. Lord of the Flies is set against the backdrop of a fictional island where a group of British schoolboys survive a plane crash. Stranded without adult supervision, their attempts to govern themselves reveal the innate darkness within each of them. But what exactly is Golding warning us about? Let's explore. The premise and plot of Lord of the Flies. Stranded and struggling. The story begins with a group of boys aged between 6 and 12 stranded on a deserted island after a wartime evacuation plane crashes. With no adults to guide them, they attempt to establish their own society. The initial hope is to maintain order, secure shelter, and keep a signal fire burning for rescue. Led by Ralph, one of the older boys, they delegate tasks. Some become hunters, others scavengers, and some focus on building shelters. At first, their efforts seem promising, embodying the principles of democracy and cooperation. Ralph emphasizes the importance of the signal fire, symbolizing hope and rescue. However, as days turn into weeks, the veneer of civilization begins to crack. Fear of the unknown beast lurking in the jungle starts to take hold, leading to paranoia and division among the boys. Jack Meridew, another older boy, becomes Ralph's rival, advocating for a focus on hunting and the immediate gratification of power and control. This rivalry sets the stage for the descent into chaos, illustrating how fear and desire for power can corrupt even the most innocent. The principles of human nature and evil. Golding's dark insight into the soul. At its core, Lord of the Flies is Golding's exploration of the inherent evil within human nature. He posits that beneath the surface of civilization lies a primal darkness that can surface when societal structures break down. Golding's view contrasts sharply with earlier literary perspectives, such as those of Thomas Hobbes, who saw humans as naturally selfish, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau, who believed in the innate goodness of mankind. Golding introduces a more complex view, suggesting that humans have the capacity for both good and evil, but under certain conditions, the evil aspect can dominate. In Lord of the Flies, the island serves as a microcosm for the world, a testing ground where the boys' true nature is revealed. Without the constraints of society, their darker impulses emerge, leading to violence, fear, and the eventual breakdown of order. Symbolism in Lord of the Flies. Decoding the symbols. Golding masterfully uses symbolism to convey his themes. Let's delve into some of the most significant symbols in the novel. 1. The conch shell. The conch shell represents order, authority, and civilization. When Ralph and Piggy first discover it, they use it to call the other boys and establish a meeting point. As long as the conch remains intact, there's a semblance of governance and peace. However, as the boys descend into savagery, the conch loses its power, symbolizing the breakdown of societal norms. 2. Piggy's glasses. Piggy's glasses symbolize intellect and the power of science and reason in society. They are used to start the fire, highlighting the importance of technology and knowledge for survival. When Jack and his hunters steal Piggy's glasses, it signifies the triumph of savagery over rationality. 3. The beast. The beast represents the boys' fear and the manifestation of their inner darkness. Initially perceived as an external threat, it evolves into a symbol of the evil within each boy. Simon's realization that the beast is not a physical entity but the darkness within themselves is a pivotal moment in the story. 4. The Lord of the Flies. The severed pig's head on a stick, known as the Lord of the Flies, embodies the complete descent into barbarism. It serves as a tangible representation of the evil that resides within the boys. The hallucination Simon experiences when he confronts the Lord of the Flies underscores the novel's central theme of internal evil. 5. The fire. The signal fire represents hope and the boy's desire to return to civilization. It also symbolizes knowledge and enlightenment. The fire's maintenance becomes a point of contention, reflecting the struggle between order and chaos. Characters and their representations of human nature. The boys as allegories of humanity. Each character in Lord of the Flies embodies different aspects of human nature and societal roles. 1. Ralph. Ralph represents order, leadership, and the desire for civilization. He is the elected leader who tries to maintain peace and ensure rescue. Ralph's struggle to keep the group focused on survival and the signal fire highlights the challenges of leadership and the fragility of civilized behavior. 2. Jack Meridew. Jack embodies savagery, ambition, and the lust for power. His descent from choir leader to tyrannical hunter illustrates the ease with which power can corrupt. Jack's rejection of Ralph's leadership and his formation of his own tribe signifies the allure of anarchy and the inherent human desire for dominance. 3. Piggy. Piggy represents intellect, reason, and the scientific aspect of society. He is often ignored and bullied, reflecting how society undervalues intellectualism. Piggy's glasses, as a symbol of knowledge, being stolen by Jack signifies the triumph of ignorance over reason. 4. Simon. Simon is the moral compass of the group, representing innate goodness and spirituality. His solitary nature and ultimate martyrdom highlight the tragedy of purity in a corrupt world. Simon's confrontation with the Lord of the Flies reveals the novel's core message about internal evil. 5. Roger. Roger symbolizes pure evil and sadism. His actions become increasingly brutal, culminating in the murder of Piggy. Roger's lack of empathy and enjoyment of violence underscore the darkest aspects of human nature. Through these characters, Golding paints a comprehensive picture of the human psyche, exploring how societal structures influence behavior and how quickly those structures can collapse under pressure. The role of fear and the beast. How fear fuels destruction. Fear is a central theme in Lord of the Flies, serving as a catalyst for the boys' descent into chaos. Initially, the boys are afraid of the unknown, the beast lurking in the jungle. This fear is manipulated by Jack to gain power, demonstrating how fear can be exploited to control others. The beast symbolizes the boys' collective fear and the darkness within themselves. As their fear grows, so does their paranoia, leading them to create an external enemy to blame for their troubles. This scapegoating process is a reflection of how societies often externalize fears to maintain control and avoid confronting internal issues. Simon's encounter with the Lord of the Flies is the moment of revelation. He understands that the beast isn't a physical creature but the inherent evil within each boy. This realization is pivotal, as it highlights Golding's message that the true danger lies within us, not in the external world. Simon's tragic death at the hands of his peers, who mistake him for the beast, illustrates the complete loss of reason and morality among the boys. It's a powerful statement on how fear can override rational thought, leading to irrational and destructive actions. The collapse of civilization on the island. From order to anarchy. As the story progresses, the initial order established by Ralph begins to unravel. The boys' society teeters between attempts at civilization and the allure of savagery. Ralph's focus on maintaining the signal fire and building shelters represents the struggle to preserve civilization and hope for rescue. Meanwhile, Jack's obsession with hunting and his desire for power pull the boys towards primal instincts. The division between Ralph's group and Jack's tribe signifies the clash between order and chaos, rationality and instinct. This gradual breakdown mirrors real-world societal collapses, where external pressures and internal conflicts can lead to the disintegration of social norms and structures. Golding uses the island as a microcosm to explore these themes, showing how easily humanity can regress into barbarism when stripped of societal constraints. The tragic death of Simon and its implications. The martyr of truth. Simon's death is one of the most harrowing moments in Lord of the Flies. After discovering that the beast is a manifestation of their own fears and darkness, Simon attempts to share this truth with the others. However, his revelation comes too late. In a frenzy driven by fear and madness, the boys brutally kill him, mistaking him for the beast. Narrator. Simon's murder is symbolic of the destruction of truth and innocence in the face of overwhelming fear and mob mentality. It serves as a powerful warning about the dangers of losing sight of reality and succumbing to irrational fears. Simon's death represents the ultimate loss of moral compass among the boys, solidifying their descent into savagery. The final descent into savagery. Embracing the dark side. With Simon's death, the boys' descent into savagery accelerates. Jack's leadership becomes increasingly tyrannical, and the group fully embraces their primal instincts. They engage in violent rituals, hunt with abandon, and show no remorse for their actions. The island becomes a battleground where the last vestiges of civilization are obliterated by pure instinct and fear. The boys' transformation into savages is a stark portrayal of how quickly humanity can lose its moral bearings when stripped of societal norms and pressures. The rescue and reflection. A bitter return to civilization. In the novel's climax, a naval officer arrives on the island, drawn by the smoke from the boys' fire. The officer's presence abruptly ends their savage existence, and Ralph, now broken and scarred by his experiences, collapses in tears. The rescue is bittersweet. The boys are saved from the island, but the trauma they endured has forever changed them. The officer's astonishment at their descent into savagery serves as a jarring reminder of the thin veneer that separates civilization from chaos. This ending underscores Golding's bleak view of human nature. Despite the return to society, the boys carry the scars of their time on the island, suggesting that the darkness within them remains, even when they are back among their own kind. Golding's warning, confronting the darkness within. The eviler side of humanity. William Golding's Lord of the Flies is a powerful warning about the inherent evil within human beings. He suggests that beneath our civilized facade lies a darkness that can easily take over when we are faced with extreme circumstances. Golding's message is clear. Even those who appear civilized and innocent can harbor psychopathic tendencies. The boys on the island, though initially structured and orderly, reveal their true nature when survival is at stake. This revelation challenges the notion that civilization is a permanent and unbreakable structure, emphasizing instead its fragility. The concept of noblesse oblige and personal responsibility. Overcoming inner evil. Golding wasn't merely a pessimist. He believed in the capacity for good within each person. His true message is that we can combat the evil within ourselves by confronting it directly. Lord of the Flies illustrates how ignoring our inner darkness allows it to consume us, leading to destruction and chaos. The boys' downfall was partly due to their inability to confront their fears and accept the darkness within them. Instead, they externalized their fears by creating the myth of the beast, giving their fears a tangible form to blame for their problems. This scapegoating prevented them from addressing the true source of their turmoil, the darkness within their own souls. Golding advocates for facing our fears and understanding our own nature. By doing so, we can prevent the darkness from overpowering our rational and moral selves. It's a call to personal responsibility, urging us to acknowledge and address our own potential for evil rather than projecting it onto external forces. Psychological and sociological perspectives. Understanding the human psyche. To further comprehend Golding's insights, let's explore psychological and sociological theories that align with the themes in Lord of the Flies. 1. Freud's theory of the ID, ego, and superego. Freud's model of the human psyche posits that the ID represents our primal desires, the superego embodies our moral standards, and the ego mediates between the two. On the island, the boys' descent into savagery can be seen as the ID overpowering the superego, with the ego struggling to maintain balance. 2. Hobbes' view of human nature. Thomas Hobbes, a philosopher, believed that humans are naturally selfish and brutish, requiring strong societal structures to maintain order. Golding echoes this perspective, showing how quickly societal norms can collapse, leaving only chaos and brutality in their wake. 3. The bystander effect and mob mentality. The novel also explores how individuals behave in groups, often succumbing to mob mentality. The boys' collective actions, especially during Simon's death, illustrate how fear and peer pressure can lead to irrational and violent behavior. These psychological and sociological insights deepen our understanding of Golding's message. They highlight the complexity of human behavior and the delicate balance between our civilized and primal instincts. Real-world implications and modern parallels. From fiction to reality, Lord of the Flies is not just a fictional narrative. It has real-world implications and parallels that resonate today. Golding's exploration of human nature, fear, and power dynamics can be seen in various aspects of society, from politics to social movements. 1. Political power and corruption. Just as Jack's quest for power leads to tyranny, Political leaders who prioritize control over the common good can lead to oppressive regimes. History is replete with examples of leaders who manipulated fear to maintain power, mirroring Jack's tactics. 2. Social media and mob mentality. In the age of social media, the dynamics of group behavior and mob mentality have taken on new dimensions. Online platforms can amplify fears and facilitate the spread of misinformation, leading to real-world consequences akin to the boys' hysteria on the island. 3. Organizational culture and leadership. In workplaces and organizations, leadership styles can significantly impact the culture and morale of the group. Leaders who micromanage and fail to trust their teams can create toxic environments, similar to Henry Ford's control over Edsel in the Ford Motor Company, a story we touched upon earlier. These parallels emphasize the enduring relevance of Golding's work. Lord of the Flies serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the potential for darkness within us and the importance of conscious leadership and self-awareness. Personal reflections and lessons learned. Applying Golding's insights to our lives. 1. The importance of self-awareness. Understanding our own fears and dark impulses is crucial in preventing them from controlling our actions. By confronting our inner darkness, we can maintain our moral compass and make rational decisions. 2. The role of leadership. Effective leadership is about balancing authority with empathy. Leaders must foster an environment of trust and cooperation, avoiding the pitfalls of power obsession that lead to corruption and chaos. 3. Building resilient societies. Societal structures must be designed to promote resilience against fear and division. Education, mental health support, and strong community bonds are essential in maintaining order and preventing societal breakdowns. Golding's work challenges us to look inward and recognize the capacity for both good and evil within ourselves. It urges us to build societies that encourage self-awareness, responsible leadership, and resilient community structures to safeguard against the descent into chaos. Embracing the light within. Overcoming the darkness. Lord of the Flies is a powerful reminder that the true beast lies within each of us. William Golding warns us that ignoring our inner darkness can lead to destruction, both personally and collectively. However, he also offers a path to redemption. By confronting and understanding our fears, we can prevent the darkness from consuming us. The novel's tragic ending serves as a call to action. It urges us to foster self-awareness, embrace our capacity for good, and create environments where the light within us can thrive. By doing so, we can overcome the innate evil that Golding so eloquently illustrates, ensuring that our societies remain just, compassionate, and resilient. If you found this exploration of Lord of the Flies insightful and thought-provoking, please give this video a like, share it with fellow literature enthusiasts, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analyses of the stories that shape our understanding of human nature. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on Golding's themes and how they resonate with your own experiences. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications on our latest content. Thank you for watching, and remember, the greatest battles are often fought within ourselves. Until next time, keep seeking the light within and confronting the darkness that threatens to consume us all.